Bryce Micah from Great Day on the Water Guide Service, welcoming you to this episode of Fishing and Hunting the North Country. I have a very lightly hooked bass here. We'll see if we can get him in. Yeah. We are out on Twin Cities Metro west area side of it, a lake, a large natural lake. We are targeting bass and pike. It is early June, so post-spawn. That's post-spawn male there. I'm gonna let that fish go. We are experimenting with baits today. Somehow I got my bait hooked on the bottom of the boat here. There we go. That one came on a jerk bait, a Rapala X-Rap, the pink ghost color they call her, pink and white, hot pink I think it's called. We'll be trying spinner baits today too, and square bill crankbaits, and shadow wrap, jerk bait as well. We're fishing, and I'll show more on a locator later, but we're fishing cabbage beds, weed beds off of hard bottom areas where the bass would have spawned. And now actually the sunfish are getting ready to bed up in there as well. So out in the cabbage away from that, we have all the female sunfish schooling up, and the bass are schooling up and starting to feed on those. So we're using a horizontal approach, slow rolling spinner baits through the tops of the weeds, snapping these jerk baits over the tops of the cabbage, and even wobbling square bill crankbaits over the top of the cabbage, trying to cover water over these vast areas. We're just fishing flats. These are scattered out fish sitting down in the cabbage looking up for in most cases a sunfish to make a mistake and swim over them, and we're trying to capitalize on that feeding binge that they're going on. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll catch a lot more fish and show you some more tips and some of the equipment we're using. Hey, my son Parker got something on a jerk bait here. Yeah, he got a little bass in there mixed in with all the curly leaf and grass. But the second or third cast of the morning, we got one already. It's on a shadow wrap. He's jerking a shadow wrap. Nice job there, buddy. Good start. Yeah. Goose hawking in the background. There you go. Here's a needle nose pliers for you. You T-bone that. We'll get some more. Another one, also on a jerkbait, this one on an X-Rap. There we go. That's not too bad. Boy, he swallowed that X-Rap. Got both hooks in there. That they're hitting that jerkbait pretty hard right now. So, and they're getting hooked. There's one. This one's up in the roof of his mouth. That second one, he tried to swallow that thing. There we go. Pink and white X-Rap. About a 17-inch largemouth there. Spawned out male. We'll get him back and stay after him. Alright, my son got one that got down the weeds here. It looks like is that a pike or is that another bass? Nope, it's another bass, but a bunch of curly leaf pondweed coming with it. Again on the jerk bait. This one's on the shadow wrap. I've been hitting the shadow wrap and the X-Rap. Get you the needle nose. There you go, so you don't got to get your hand by those treble hooks. When you're using baits with treble hooks like this, just always a good idea to have a needle nose pliers handy. This one you can see was kind of hooked under the chin. If they got too much of a face full of hooks, then you can always use a landing net. We got the Nice job, buddy. my son Parker's got one. This one's on a spinnerbait. Another smaller male bass, but they are ripping it. Whatever we throw at them here, they seem to be hammering it. So, good job, buddy. I'll get him back and we'll get another one. It's on a chartreuse and white Terminator spinnerbait. Good job, pal. Get him back. Oh. And away he goes. And my son Parker got one here on a nice one on the pink and white X-Wrap. Oh yeah, nice bass there, buddy. Okay, so we'll let him go. Oh, we'll get a picture of him and then let him go. All right, gonna let that. Yeah, nice bass. Let that. There you go. I say thank you by splashing you.
Thank you.
Okay, my son with the X-Wrap there had a nice pumpkin seed sunfish come up to investigate and get hooked in the top of the back. That's a nice healthy pumpkin seed there. So yeah, like I said, the sunfish are getting ready to bed here. The males are moving in to start making nests in some of the same areas where the bass did, and then the female sunfish are staging out in the cabbage and weeds outside of those areas, and that's then what's got the bass out here. Alright, my son Parker's got one here. Nice male bass there. Got him on the shadow wrap and the perch color. Ooh, nice one, bud. Fires. Alright, my dad Nate here landed a nice one. Oh yeah, a nice one on a spinnerbait. Ooh, that one's been eaten. Got something in its tummy. Oh, yeah. Hold them up a little higher, turn towards the camera here. There you go. Hey there, we got another one on the X-Wrap here. Like we've been catching. Nice male there. We've got a few bigger females too, but lots of these guys. Post-spawn males here. Is on the hot pink X-Wrap again. Nice fish there. Get him back. Go get another one there. Got another one. First cast on, or the first fish of the day was on an X-Wrap. Then we were getting them a lot on shadow wraps. Now we're still getting them on shadow wraps, but the X-Wraps are getting back in the act too as our spinner baits. So catch one a little bit of everything. Clouds roll in, clouds roll out. One of those nice days. Supposedly rain coming, storms coming here later, so get a good prefrontal bite here. And again, that was on the pink and white X-Wrap. I'm just going to talk a little bit quick about the rods and reel and line we're using. With these X-Wraps, I'm using a 6.5 foot St. Croix bait cast rod with a Abu Garcia bait cast reel with 10-pound test Berkley Fireline Ultra 8 on here. My son and my dad with jerk baits are using spinning tackle. They're using 6'9" St. Croix rods with Fluger spinning reels and 10-pound test Fireline Ultra 8. And then on the spinner baits, I'm using a 7-foot bait caster. They're using 6.5 foot to 7 foot spinning rods with 14-pound line on those. On the jerk baits, we're using a very fast action, not much bend at the tip of the rod, so we get all the action of the jerk. With the spinner baits, we're using a softer rod that bends a little farther up the rod because that spinner bait's moving the whole time, so when the bass comes up behind to inhale it, that rod will give a little more and he can get that bait back into his mouth a little more before the rod loads up. So that's the equipment, pretty simple. Still working on those mid-depth 8 to 10 foot cabbage patches.
My son Parker's got a nice one here on the pink X-Wrap. Swing him aboard. Get the tools there. Oh yeah, we got a mouthful of treble hooks. Gonna use the Boga grip. There you go. Good way to lip him without getting hooks in your hand. And then here's the needle nose.
Oh.
And that pink and white X-Wrap again. You can grab him and that's good solid largemouth there, buddy. Get a little video of you putting that way back. Actually, let's get a picture of that first. And away he goes. Nicely done, buddy. Boy, he hammered that, it looked like, huh? Alright. Alright, my son's got one here. That pink X-Wrap again. Oh, that's not a bad one. Attaboy. Got a face full of treble hooks here, so we're going to grab him with the little fish gripper until we get those hooks out of his face. Needle nose is to your left there, pal. Alright, well that pink and that white X-Wrap gets another one. Okay. I'll let that boy go. And we will get back to catching some more. Nice fish, buddy. Go ahead and toss him back. Nicely done. Son Parker's got another one here. Keep him up out of those weeds, buddy. Keep that rod high and keep him moving. There you go. Son Parker's got, I think, a sunfish drilled the pink and white X-Wrap here. And he's bringing him in sideways. Oh yeah. Ooh, a nice bluegill. That's a beautiful bluegill. So yeah, everything in this cabbage and everything hitting these jerkbaits. Good job, buddy. Yeah, that's a nice fish. Son Parker's got a nice one here. Get him up here. Oh, he's barely hooked. Grabbing him with with that gripper since he's got a face full of treble hooks there. Ooh, that's a good one, buddy. That hook out, and we're gonna look at him, get a picture of him. Earlier we were catching them on shadow wraps and got a couple on spinner baits and a couple on X wraps, and now they have really seemed to dial into the X wrap and into the pink and white one. Must be something about this hazy. We had sunshine and then we had pretty dark clouds and then we get some haze. We got storms coming, so we got dark clouds coming again, but right now this is the color. So nice fish, buddy. We'll get a picture of that and then we'll let that go. All right, let that big girl go. Nice fish, pal. Oh, she's ready. Got to give you a splash to say thank you. That's how they thank you. Nicely done, buddy. Son Parker's got another one here in the X wrap. Double gripper. Yeah, he's got them all full of hooks, don't he? There you go. A nice little male. Nicely done, pal. Pitch him back. We'll get some more. Good work. Hey, well, our two best baits today were jerk baits, specifically the X-Wrap and the Shadow Wrap from Rapala, and then a Terminator spinner bait. So I'm going to show you the baits, and I want to show you these new Plano boxes while I'm at it. A little shout out for them. This is the Edge series of boxes from Plano. All different styles. This is the spinner bait box. You see we got the clear lid. It's a hard plastic, so there's no flex. We can label right there. We got a label that holds marker. One-piece latch, pop down, let it fold down, flip it over, and there you are in there. And here's our spinner baits. We got dividers, so we can divide them. I got them divided by color and size. These dividers have little vents in them so air breathes through, and then the restrictor rust proofing is in this plastic. And then we also have a desiccant in here. It's down farther to reach, but a desiccant that helps take moisture out as well. So that's the one designed specifically for the spinner baits. And then we were using jerk baits. This is what they call their crankbait box. 3700 size. You can see it's got the little rubber nodes in there, and you can push, these are jerk baits, X-Wraps and Shadow Wraps. You can push them in and pull them out wherever you want, so you can really get them in there, but they're not sliding around, banging into one another. The hooks aren't getting underneath things and getting hooked under dividers. Here's that desiccant I told you about. I can take it out, and that's rechargeable and reusable, and it fits into any of the divider slots. And then the restrictor material, treatment to the plastic again, keeps these things no nicks, no scratches. The hooks aren't rusted. Just takes such great care of the baits. So check these out. They make regular 3700s, regular 3600s, bulk size. They make terminal tackle ones that have small containers that hold small sinkers and hooks. I like to use those for ice fishing, for all my little ice fishing jigs. I showed that in a show earlier. So check these out. But these were definitely our two best baits, the jerk bait and the spinner bait today. Hi, well, hope you enjoyed this episode of Fishing and Hunting North Country. I know 3 generations of Smuckas enjoyed bringing it to you. Hopefully you got some tips about looking late spring at post-spawn in the cabbage flats, not too far from where bass would have bedded and where sunfish are bedding. And you can catch a lot of nice bass. We got pike, we got a small muskie, got some crappies, got some sunfish too. Use a horizontal approach like we did with the jerk baits, the spinner baits, the square bill crankbaits, and bring them across the tops of the weeds, targeting bass that are scattered down in those weeds looking up to come up and feed, most likely on a sunfish. So for Parker Smutka and Nate Smutka, I'm Troy Smutka. Great Day on the Water Guide Service. Good luck, and I will see you out there somewhere.